Hi guys, welcome back to a recap of my week in prep. Now, we are recapping my second week in comp prep last week. So, we are still on the same protocols. My weight is still dropping very slowly but very surely. We have entered the 65s, which is where my coach wanted me to be sitting by this time. So we are definitely on track to be on the timeline that we need to be. Last week, I really needed to get my shit together. Food had always been bang on from day one. It was the water intake over Easter and those days following. I was just busy and wasn't prioritizing it. And I know this from last time and just generally because I know my body. When I don't drink enough water, my digestion slows down and things don't move the way they should, if you get what I mean. So I really locked in. I'm smashing, 2.5, if not 3 liters of water a day, which saw a huge drop. So I think we entered last week at 66.8, roughly somewhere like that. And most recently, I'm pretty sure we're 65.7 today, and that's an increase from yesterday. It was like 65.3 on my check-in day yesterday. So yeah, it made a huge difference, which was the main thing that has changed this week. Last week, I did have a little bit of a crash out. Because I'd spent pretty well the whole week in this office by myself all day, every day. And prep just adds that extra level of, isolation, I suppose. Like I touched on in the last video, it is all on you to do it. And prep has to take priority over a lot of things, unfortunately. I suppose it doesn't have to, but the way I do things, I don't do things in halves. I do things at 100%, and that's what I'm putting into this prep. So prep, steps, food, posing, mobility, training, the works all comes before a lot of other things. And that'll be the way it is for the next 6 months, which just is how it is. So things are looking a lot better in terms of our schedule now. And, I'm not really noticing any results as of yet, but I'm sure that will come. Last week was a busy week with business, so that is where a lot of my energy and time went. I've actually been looking for another coach to join the team, and we found one. So I went let the cat out of the bag with that, but I have been really busy interviewing, hiring, etc. So we found someone that is joining the team, which is exciting. So that's where a lot of energy last week went to, and just refining business systems, unfortunately. But yeah, I've got a posing session with Tay this week, which will be awesome. I have been working on my mobility, and for the first time ever in my whole 28 years of life, today I did this and I could actually touch my fingers at the back. Like, I've been working on my mobility for my posing, but as well, I've been going to see a chiro and getting massages fortnightly as well. And they got right in under my subscap last week, and that hurt like a bitch. But my mobility is so much better, so all my overhead poses are going to look so much better. So having that range of motion was a huge, exciting thing for this week. That's so random, by the way, but it's something that's a big thing to me at the moment, because I've danced. Like I started dancing when I was 3 or 4, and I remember when we did our warm-up, we used to sort of do that at dancing, and I could never do it, ever. And so like today was the first time I actually did it on my own. And it was weird. It was just like, oh my God, I've never been able to touch back there. Anyway. So yeah, I've got posing not next week, it's tomorrow. I don't even know. So last week, I've moved to fortnightly posing with Tay now. So we've finished my routine. Obviously, as the weeks go on, we'll be refining it, but we've got my routine down pat. Now we're going to be probably focusing on my quarter turns, etc., which is good. It feels good to be so ahead, because last time I really lapsed with my posing. I started posing as I started prep, whereas this time I've actually been doing it in the off season, which is really good, really good. So that is where we're at this week. As of what did I do last weekend though? Oh, it was a busy week last weekend. So work, it was a huge week, as I said. And then my sister actually flew in from Darwin on Saturday morning. we spent the day together. We just went shopping and whatever else, and got her prepped for High Rocks. So I actually coached her through her first prep for High Rocks, which was awesome. She competed on Sunday here in Brizzy, so I went and watched her. Honestly, watching that race, like, it is something that would be cool to do. Obviously not at the same time as bodybuilding. It's just, you know, one thing at a time sort of thing. But geez, I was actually there watching her and I was like, fuck, that looks like it sucks. I mean, when you've trained for it for 6 months like she had, like, it's still going to hurt, but you're used to the hurt sort of thing, I suppose. So it was really cool to go and watch that. Definitely wouldn't mind doing one day. It's like one of those things that you do, just like, I want to run another marathon again, because I did one and it was fine, but I didn't train for it. So to actually train and see how it goes is definitely on the cards for a year when I'm not competing. So maybe next year, we'll see. But spent Saturday with her, had a very quiet night in Saturday night getting her prepped and ready, then went and watched her race. She did really well, and then dropped her back here and then drove down to the Gold Coast to go to Ultra with Sam. Now, we bought these tickets before I knew I was going to be starting prep now. As I said, like, prep got pulled back a little bit, so we thought it would be the last weekend before I started prep. So Sam actually had work on the Monday, because Ultra was on a Sunday in Brisbane, which is in Gold Coast, which is random. So Sam had work on Monday, I had work on Monday. I was obviously sober because of prep. And let's just say it wasn't the vibe. Like, I've been going to festivals and concerts and whatever for years. Like probably one of the best ones I went to, honestly, was Breath of Life in Launceston in like 2013 or no, 2014 it was. Went sober, had the funnest time. The first time going sober to another festival shouldn't have been Ultra. It was just not a vibe. It was just all, you know, I'm someone that likes music you can dance to, and like, some of the acts that were there, the music that was playing even wasn't their own, or, you know, it was like cracked out shit, which when you're sober and just not in the mood, it wasn't fun. So we went for like 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours, and left and went home. And then I actually drove back to Brizzy. I was going to stay down there, but I drove back here so I could just kick my work week off as normal. So lesson learned, probably don't go to like a heavy, like that sort of vibe festival completely sober. Like, everyone around you, just people bumping into me, and like, when you're drunk you don't notice, and then everyone's jaws are swinging, you know, that's like what people do, I suppose. But it just wasn't fun, so I wasn't in the mood for it, especially it'd been a big day already as it was at the High Rocks. So yeah, that was last weekend. It was a little bit all wasted, that arvo, in a way, but it was good. Sam and I had a laugh about it, and yeah, so honestly, nothing to report. There's so much I still need to get organised. I'm like so locked in on the business at the moment, while I've got the mental capacity there and getting everything set up. I haven't even thought about a bikini or bikinis. I still don't know what I'm doing show-wise. At least my posing and like all the physical things I need to do are done. I tell a lie, I have booked one thing in so far. I've booked in a photo shoot for Post Worlds with Jess from All the Feels. So it's one of those like get wet shoots, they call them, where like the water's pouring over you and you're in your outfit. So that will be cool. I'm not probably, well, I say this now, I don't plan to go like crazy with photo shoots, because honestly they are like very expensive, and I did like 3 last time. So I'm going to try and be a bit more tame this time, especially it's not my first time. Like, I know, you know, you've got the photos, it's like meh, you know, who knows, I'll probably change my mind with that too as I like get leaner. It's like, oh well, I haven't spent all this money this year on everything else, I'll do more shoots. But at the moment, that is one thing I have organised for prep, so for the show. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a cool shoot. All the content and like shoots I've seen people do with Jess looks so cool. So that'll be awesome. I didn't get to shoot with her last time, so I'm looking forward to that. But honestly, I'm sort of like in like an ignorant state that this isn't prep, because it doesn't feel like it is. Last time it was like, oh my God, I'm like so locked in, whereas nothing, like it's just like I'm doing the same shit. And the food, like, I'm still not even hungry. Like, my body's like still like adjusting from going from 2,700 calories where I was just like, bleh. I'm not hungry. So even on the 2,000 calories I'm on, I'm just like, whatever. So yeah, if at the moment weight's trending the way we want it to, so I'll probably be able to stay on these cows for a little while. From memory, the first 3 or 4 weeks last time, we were able to keep cows where they were. So hopefully we get to do that. And then, you know, suddenly it'll be a month in, and then it'll go quick. So that's why I'm doing these videos, so that there is a week by week breakdown of what happened, what things I did, how I was feeling. But honestly, at the moment, I'm peachy. Like, nothing's hard at the moment. The training, honestly, like the last few months, I haven't really been enjoying my training, and I always enjoy training. And I think, honestly, that's probably coming from a place of like, yes, they're always very similar. There's a lot of lifts in there that are just fatiguing in a way, but also like unilateral ones. So for example, like single leg press on the same day as like a single leg supported lunge. I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, it just takes time. And I'm just, I think it's more coming from a confidence side of things. Like, when I'm in prep, like, or when I'm in like a body that I'm really happy with, right, I like to strut around the gym and train and do whatever. Whereas when I'm like continually feeling like covered up and whatever else, I like being in there less. So as weeks go on, I think that excitement for training will come back, because as you get leaner, more muscle reveals itself, and you know the work you're doing is like helping, whereas everything's sort of hidden at the moment. So training block, we're finishing this training block up now, so this is the final week, so I'll get a new one next week, which will be a fresh start, a little bit of a refresh for training, which will, by the 4th week, I'm ready for a new one. Like, I don't know how people just do the same training block for like 12 weeks at a time. I could never. Anyway, so that is something to look forward to next week. And yeah, we don't have any planned this weekend. We've got a house inspection next week, so we need to clean adult things. But otherwise, I don't think we've got anything planned, so it might be just another chill weekend, which it usually is in prep. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else for you. That's the only thing I've booked in. Everything's going well. I'm still on 13,000 steps. This week, I'll talk about it in this video. So it's Wednesday today. Yeah. Or Monday. So, sorry, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD and I've never been diagnosed, but anyway, my mind's like ping, 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 ping. So I went to say at the start of this video that I had a crash out last week where, I'm crashing out being in these 4 walls. So funny, well, it's not really funny. I posted it on my close friend story on Instagram, sometimes I miss, having colleagues and having a workplace, because being home by myself is isolating. And then we add prep on top and it's even more isolating. Anyway, I posted it on my close friend story just to have a rant, as you do. And Sindra, one of my friends from Tassie, to clarify, we were both from Tassie, and we both used to play footy together in Penguin, like AFL football. She replied, and she's like, girl, you need to play a team sport. And I was like, I know. Like, I used to, from the time I've always played team sports. And the first year I moved up to Brisbane, I did play football as well and loved it. But then the following year was when I went into my first year of bodybuilding. And then last year I was in Sydney, so I didn't play any team sports. And then this year I'm competing again. So footy, I love it. And so, long story short, she's like, come to footy training. She plays in a team that's literally just up the road from me. So I went on Monday and I had so much fun. I honestly did. My steps were through the roof because I'd already hit them before I went to training. But it was cool. It was cool to just be around other people, have a run around, kick the footy. I haven't kicked the footy in ages. And I had so much fun. And then, of course, chatting to the coach, he's like, you should play. And I'm just like, I would love to, but... And, then I come home and I said to Ash, I was like, oh, they want me to play. And I was like, I would love to play, but knowing my luck, I would hate to play even one game and get injured, and it meant I couldn't compete. Like, in terms of priorities this year, prep is my number one priority. The business is second, but prep is my priority. So for a team sport, you know, it's not worth it to me to play. You know, I've already had 2 years away. What's another year? I can train, still get that, you know, activity in. But to actually play, I would love to. And, you know, I probably could get away with it potentially for the first half of the season while we're in this early phase of prep. But I've seen it happen so many times. It can just go so wrong so quickly. All it takes is one head knock, one wrong turn, you know, one smother of the ball, and you've got broken bones, dislocated this and that. And it's just, when I've got such set structured things I have to do, it's just not worth the risk to me. Like, especially after how challenging the last 2 years have been, recovering post-show, going into these builds, putting myself in a position where I'm physically uncomfortable and not vibing, to then throw that all away. And all the muscle I've built in this time as well has been for this. Like, it's going to set me up for life anyway, but it has been to come back to stage and prove, you know, how much you can level up in that 2 years. So, yeah, I'm not going to play, but in saying that, I wish I could. I'd love to, but it's just not worth the risk. You have to prioritize things. Prep comes first, and I'm going to have that bit of a balance. Like, as long as they let me keep training with them, I'll train, I'll run around until it gets to the point where, you know, I'm too fatigued and I just don't need that extra output. So, yeah, for now, I'm going to footy training twice a week as of Monday. So it's Wednesday. So tonight is the second time I'm going to go. And I had lots of fun. It was good. It's really cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But that is something that I did this week that was different. So thanks, Sin. Hats off to you, Queen. Because she pretty well dragged me there. She's like, you should just come to training, you know? Got me out of the house, run around. You don't realise how much you miss something until you do it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to suck. Because it's been like 3 years. But it was just like sort of like riding a bike. And that's what she said it would be too. But you do. Like, it's like anything. You haven't done it in a while, you do it. And it's like you hadn't ever not done it. So that was awesome. So that was this week so far and last week. And I know a lot of these things aren't prep related, but it's good to just me to memory dump what I was doing each week in prep. So yeah, that's all I've got for you, chookies. I probably shouldn't say chookies. That's someone else's catchphrase, but queenies, that's what I'm going to say. That's my new catchphrase. I was thinking about that last week. What can I say? And I've been like brainstorming with like Claude. Like, Claude is my new best friend now. Like, chat, I'm sorry, but we're over. Claude, I was like, what the hell can I say at the end of these videos? And I call everyone a queen. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start saying catch queenies and just see if it sticks. So I'm going to do that today. So thanks for listening. This is my recap of prep week 2. Catch your queenies. No, I need to make it natural. Oh my God. Anyway, that's it. I'm going now. Catch your queenies.